The Chitrik Academy is dedicated in loving memory of Rabbi Tzvi Hirsh Chitrik. Welcome to Lesson 3 of Perek Hameiniach. Today we are going to learn from the top line Uva until Amrale Rababa, which is down here. This is what we are going to learn today. In our Mishnah we had said that if someone places something in the street and someone else trips over it, he will not be responsible. For example, here's a street, and we have Reuven. So if Reuven put down an object, a jug or something in the street, and then came along Shimon, and Shimon was walking down the street and tripped over and broke Reuven's object, right? He broke it. Shimon will not be responsible to pay for it. Let's go to the Gemara. The Gemara asks, why is Shimon going to be pater? So let's read what the Mishnah had said. Uva achar, and someone else came along, v'nisgalba, and tripped over Reuven's object, v'shavra, and it broke. Pater, the person who tripped over it, Shimon will not be responsible to pay Reuven for his broken object. Now the Gemara asks, let's make a question mark on the side. This is the Gemara's question. Amai pater. Why is the person who broke the object going to be pater? Why? Why should he be responsible? Ibayale leyune. He should have looked umezel and then go. He should have watched where he was going, and the fact that he didn't watch where he was going and broke someone else's object, he should be responsible. So the question is, why in our Mishnah do we say that he's going to be pater? So the Gemara is going to give a few answers to answer this question. Today we are going to discuss 3 of the answers. Answer number 1 is said in the name of Rav. Amri devei Rav mishmei de Rav. They said in the yeshiva of Rav, in the name of Rav. We're discussing a case b'memali rishus harabim kula chavyis, that it's filled, the entire rishus harabim, the entire street is filled, kula, the entire street is filled with chavyis, with barrels, and therefore because Shimon had nowhere to go and he needed to go to his destination, so he was allowed to break the barrels and will not be responsible. So let's write this down on our board. The first answer, let's choose a different color. The first answer is going to be Rav's answer. His first answer is Rav, that the case is that the street was completely filled with barrels. A barrel here, a barrel here, a barrel here. And Shimon wanted to cross. The only option, the only way to get to the other side was by breaking through the barrels, and therefore he won't be responsible because he needed to get through. That is the first answer, according to Rav. Let's see the next answer. Now the second answer is going to be Shmuel. So Rav is the first one, Shmuel is the second answer. Shmuel Amar, Shmuel says, Be'afelu shanu. Our Mishnah is talking about a case where it's dark, and therefore the question was he should have watched where he was going, but our Mishnah is talking about where it was dark and therefore he couldn't see where he was going. That's why the Mishnah says that he's not going to be responsible, because he couldn't see where he was going. That's the end of Shmuel's answer. So let's write this down on our board. Let's scroll down a little bit. Let's get a different color. This answer is according to Shmuel that it was a regular case of one barrel, not the entire street was full of barrels. It was one barrel, but Shimon, because it was night, cannot see where he was going. Night or Lila. And therefore he will not be responsible. Let's go back to the Gemara for the third answer. Third answer. Rabbi Yochanan Amar. Rabbi Yochanan says, our Mishnah is talking about a unique case, that in that case he'll be pater. What case is that? Bekeren Zavis. It's referring to a corner. Let's make a period. That's the end of Rabbi Yochanan's answer. What does it mean it's referring to a corner? Let's go back to our board. Let's choose red. Rabbi Yochanan. It's referring to a case where there's a street over here. Then the street turns. And the barrel was right around the corner. So Shimon was walking along, was walking, and he turned the corner, and he was watching where he was going. However, because he turned the corner, he cannot see the barrel hidden right around the corner, and therefore he will be pater even though he broke it, because he could not possibly see it as he was turning the corner. So these are the three opinions, three answers as to why in our Mishnah it will be pater. Rav's answer is because he didn't have a choice. There was nowhere else to go. Therefore, he needed to break it. He didn't have a choice, and therefore he's pater. Shmuel's answer is because it was at night, and therefore he could not see where he was going. However, if it was during the day, he would be responsible. And then there's Rabbi Yochanan, that it could be daytime, it could be any time, and there's actually one barrel, not like Rav that there are many barrels. However, because he was around the corner, he cannot see where he was going. Now let's continue in the Gemara. Amar Rav Papa says, Loi daika masnissen, our Mishnah does not fit, does not flow, Ella oik Shmuel, oik Rabbi Yochanan. Rav Papa says that our Mishnah that makes the statement that he'll be pater seems to fit only according to the view of either Shmuel or Rabbi Yochanan, either because it was at nighttime or because it was in a corner. Why is this? Because the Rav, if it was according to Rav that the entire Rishus Rabbim was full with barrels, that's what Rav had said over here, Ma'ir Niskal, why does the Mishnah say V'niskal ba, that a person tripped over the barrels, then he will be pater? Ma'ir Niskal, why does it say that he tripped? Afilu shavar nami, even if he purposely went and broke a barrel, according to Rav, because there was no other way to go, there was nowhere else no other way for him to pass, he will not be liable. He'll be pater and not be responsible to pay back for the barrel. Let's see this in our board. According to Rav, which is the blue, according to Rav, that it's referring to a case where he had no other way to pass, he's allowed to go and break a barrel to pass. Why does our Mishnah say niskal? That's what our Papa is asking. Niskal, why does it say niskal? It should say that he should be allowed to break it. So that is Rav Papa's statement. Comes Rav Zvid and says no. Our Mishnah can go even according to Rav. So why does it say niskal? Let's see. Amar Reb Zvid says Mishmei de Rava, in the name of Rava. Hu hadin dafil shavar. Really, our Mishnah can be referring, according to Rav, our Mishnah can mean even in a case where he broke it purposely. If the entire Rishus Rabbim, the entire public area, was full of barrels, a person may go and break the barrels to get through. V'hai diktani niskal. And this, that it says niskal, that he tripped over the barrels, that was Rav Papa's question. Aidi deboy the Mishnah Seifa, because it says in the end of the Mishnah. Seifa means the end. V'imhu zakba, if the person who tripped over the barrels got hurt, Baal chavis chayiv, the owner of the barrels, will be responsible b'niskay for his damages. then in such a case the owner of the barrel will be responsible. The dafka niskal, dafka specifically, if a person tripped over it, the owner will be chayav to pay. Avol shavar loy, but if he broke it and then tripped, he will not be responsible. Let's see this in the Mishnah itself. The Mishnah had said, Hameiniach as a kad b'rshus rabim. If someone places a kad, a jug or barrel in rshus rabim, uva achar v'nisko, and someone came along and tripped ba on the barrel, v'shavra, and broke it, potter, he will not be responsible. V'im huzak ba, if he hurt himself, Baal HaChavis Chayev, the owner of the barrel will be Chayev B'niskei for his damages. So the first part of the Mishnah is called the Reisha. That goes until here. And the second part of the Mishnah is called Seifa. Seifa, it's safe, it's the end. Which that starts from here. So in the second case, let's just read the second case. V'imhuzak ba, if a person tripped over barrels and got hurt, the owner of the barrel will be responsible to pay. When is the owner responsible to pay? If a person tripped over the barrels. However, if he would purposely go and break barrels and then he hurt himself, the owner of the barrels would not be responsible to pay. Therefore, because in this second case, in the Seifa of the Mishnah, it needs to talk about a case where a person tripped, so therefore, in the first part, in the Reisha, the first part of the Mishnah, it also uses the expression v'niskal, and he tripped. Even though, according to Rav, if the street is full with barrels, a person may go and break the barrels. He doesn't need to trip over the barrels to get them out of his way. He's allowed to break them. However, because in the Seifa, when we want to say that the owner of the barrel be responsible to pay for the damages, that needs to refer to a case where a person tripped over the barrels. Therefore, it says v'niskal. But v'niskal is lav dafka. We don't have to use the word v'niskal. So let's read this in our Gemara. Rabbi Tzvi said in the name of Rava, Hu hadin dafil shavar. According to Rava, a person may chatchila go and break the barrels if it's in his way and needs to get through. V'hai diktani niskal. This reason why it says niskal is because I did Baal Mishnah Seifa, because in the second case, at the end of the Mishnah, when it refers to the owner paying damages, it says, V'imhu zakba, if a person hurts himself while tripping over barrels, Baal Chavis Chayev, the owner of the barrels will be responsible, B'niskay, for his damages, the dafka niskal, only if the person tripped on his barrels. Avol shavar loy. Why not? My timer. What is the reason why the owner does not need to pay if a person breaks his barrels and hurts himself? Because the person hurt himself. If a person hurts themselves, the owner is not responsible to pay. But if a person tripped over someone else's object, the owner of the object will need to pay. Therefore, because in the Seifa, it has to say niskal in a case of where he hurt himself. Ktani reisha niskal. Therefore, in the first case, it also mentions that if a person tripped over barrels, he won't be responsible. However, really, if he breaks it, he will not be responsible. This is the end of this lesson.